So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are right now, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Doing a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and tonight I'm joined by two members of the band Ventruss. I have Ben and Brian. Ben is the singer, and Brian is the drummer. And Ventruss is a band that, when I was listening to the music, it really reminded me of like there's like some rock, new metal with some metalcore infused into it. And they're from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And they're here. We're here to talk about their latest EP that dropped like a few months ago called The Serpent. So, first of all, good night, guys. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I just got my son to bed, and now I'm relaxing like you on the couch.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I'm on a chair. Usually when I do the album reviews, I'm on a couch, but it would be like
Ah,
hard to interview on a couch. But yeah, so yeah, I know what it's like to have kids and put them to bed. So yeah, how many kids you got, Brian?
just one, and he's 3.
Oh, mine is free too. So yeah, that they're in that great age where they're total jerks and they know it.
Definitely.
Definitely. So, Ben, offline, this is pretty funny, so I have to share. Offline, I was talking to Ben, who's the singer, and he's in his car because he does Uber and Lyft. And we were saying it would have been hilarious if he would have done like at the interview, like giving someone a lift. And I don't know if you guys remember that show in HBO that they had that it was called Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
That would have been hilarious. Uh, talk to me a little bit of. I listened to Ventures, and I did not only listen to the last EP. I listened to the first albums, and something that I could really found was very different was like the way the vocals are on the first album to the last EP. You can like tell the progression, and I obviously read that the band incarnation has changed. So now you have like that solid lineup with the lineup that you have right now, correct?
Correct. Yes. And yeah. The lineup has definitely changed a lot over the years. And when I did the first EP, I was 19 years old. So yes, like when you hear the first EP to now, you can just hear the vocal progression, and it's kind of cool to listen to from time to time. Just like, damn, like I started here, now I'm here. Like it's definitely a beautiful thing to see, and something that is definitely taken a lot of work and effort to get to. But yes, most definitely.
Yeah. So the Serpent that you released a few months ago, there's some interesting like different tracks on it. There's some more like rocker friendlier tracks. I really thought of like bands like the Breaking Benjamins and I'm like the top of my head, that type of sound. But you also have like more some new metal to you guys and some metalcore. How would you define the sound of Ventruss in a nutshell?
Honestly, yeah, like those 3 points are probably very accurate to like what we do, but we always describe ourselves as melodic metalcore, and but like you said, some songs are more metalcore, but then other songs are more new metal. Then some songs are like alternative kind of rock, like hard
Yeah.
rock. So, it's kind of like we can kind of blend all of those together. And that's kind of like what we are. But I say as we've progressed though, we tend to are getting more towards like the metalcore and like heavier side. And like I feel like that's kind of like our specific niche that we target. But like, yeah, we have a lot of those different things come out in the music though, for sure.
Nice. So
Yeah.
Ben, you as being the singer of the band, growing up, what were your favorite singers that inspired your the way you sing?
Well, I mean, huge Pantera fan, so Phil Anselmo first and foremost. I love Ben Burnley from Breaking Benjamin, which he had mentioned earlier. He was another influence of mine. Growing up, I really loved energetic frontmen, such as Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach. He really knows how to control a crowd. Huge fan of who's another one. Trying to think of my early influences. Chester and Mike from Linkin Park, hands down, two of my favorites as well. David from Disturbed. Sully Erna from Godsmack, guys that know how to put on a show, guys that know how to control a crowd, and guys that know how to really just bring out everything that they're feeling into their music. And Paul McCoy from 12 Stones is another one, very much so. And we've ended up having the pleasure of becoming good friends with those dudes over the years. And then in the non-metal world, I'm a huge Eminem fan. I'm a big hip hop fan. Tom DeLonge, Blink-182, that whole punk pop scene back in the day was a huge influence of mine. Eminem is still to this day a huge influence. So just people that really just put out everything and just like get their point across with just pure emotion and aggression. To say the least, those are some influences of mine.
Yeah, I saw an interview you did, and you had the D12 shirt on that interview.
Yes.
I saw some snippet of it, so to see if like this one could be more entertaining.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, no, I really dug the EP, and something I like to do here on the channel is I like to show the artwork. So this is the artwork of the Serpent. So who did this artwork, and what were you trying to convey with this artwork?
Our buddy from New Orleans, his name's Joshua Dartes. He's a graphic artist, and he's done a lot of work with bands around Louisiana, local bands and bigger bands. But like he's the one that designed this one, and he designed a few of our other designs we've used for other things, like some one of our merch t-shirts he designed. But as far as this album cover went, we we wanted to have something. The owl has been something that kind of Ventruss has represent since the first album. The first album has an owl on the cover also. So that owl's kind of followed the band. And like, so we wanted to incorporate that again in this album, because like when we approached this album, we were like you said, we have this solid lineup that we finally come into, and like our music's evolving and we're changing, and like we're sounding different now. And like, we wanted to like encompass everything that we were. So we wanted our artwork to also convey that too. But
Yes.
so the snake comes from, this is the Serpent, the title track.
Yeah.
And so it's supposed to be like a battle between us, like the owl and the snake. And it was like good and evil kind of. And Ventruss was the good and the owl, and the snake is the evil.
Nice. So with that owl, so are you gonna have like a mascot, like an Eddie thing, but have you could have like every album cover the owls doing some different stuff?
Yeah, we've talked about incorporating it.
Yeah,
like that.
Does the owl have a name?
No, the owl does not have it.
We haven't named it. No,
we've never even talked about naming it. It's just the owl.
It would be cool to name it, like a cool name.
Yeah, we'll have to think of that one. That's actually, I used to think about it back in the day, but we've never really like gone anywhere with it. Back then the lineup was way different and didn't want to do things like that. But yeah, I'm
brainstorming with you guys. Maybe like you could like go on stage and like everyone would chant, "Bring the owl!"
Yeah,
like, and the owl could come on stage, like.
Yes, like I'm gonna have to get me like one of those like arm guards to have an owl.
Maybe you could have the owl like with some armor on some of things and just like change it. I really like the artwork for the EP, and the song "The Serpent." I know it's I was reading lyrics, and I know it's particularly very personal to you, Ben. Correct?
Yes, very much so.
I think if I read, I don't know if I'm right, but I think I read that you wrote that after your father's passing a few years ago, and the song has to do with some of that. What is the main theme of the Serpent, the song?
Oh, it's who he was married to and what she did to our family after the passing. Which, not to get like too deep involved with it, but like she definitely left a huge scar on all of us. And treated our entire family, and her family treated our entire family extremely poor throughout the funeral process. And then after the funeral, none of them spoke to us ever again. only through court. And yeah, it's just, it was very hard to deal with because, obviously my father passing was a huge deal, and then in passing unexpectedly, but to be treated so poorly by a group of individuals, and especially one that he was married to, and then just completely just disappear and get remarried, that stings a little bit, and it definitely messes you up mentally. And and obviously I use the term snake because that's exactly what I refer to that person as someone who slithers through the grass, finds someone, bites them, and then catches them and takes them into their hold and injects their poison into them and fills their head with shit. It just completely just leaves nothing but tyranny and stress and just complete negativity. And it's a battle I fight still to this day, because I mean, even though people can say it's over, my father's still gone. There's a lot of unanswered questions about his death, and some of them I'll never get answered probably. But but in the positive light, I honor him every day. I think about him every day. I even most times talk about him every day. So I try to keep a positive outlook about it, even though it is extremely tough. It's extremely hard. Losing a father as a young man, as a 25-year-old man, because I was 25 when it happened, is unexpectedly. So it's not like he was sick with cancer. It was a motorcycle wreck, but the motorcycle wreck, not to go too deep into it, but the motorcycle wreck doesn't make any sense. Like, he didn't hit anybody. It's just kind of like floating of like what happened, and no one saw it happen. So it's definitely makes you scratch your head a little bit. But I mean, in all honesty, he's my father. I love him to death, and I'll always remember him.
Yeah, and it's a good, that you channeled some of that feelings through music, because music. I'm a great believer that that music can heal, and
Right,
and
right.
there's a lot of great things.
And I was kind of warned that maybe I was getting a little too personal about it, but I mean, I need to let it out. It's my outlet. Music's my outlet. Talking about it is my outlet. I mean, it is what it is. It happened. There's no point in just hiding it and burying it in the back of my head. I don't like try to go off the deep end about it, but I definitely try to keep it as like pretty vague. But it's definitely taken a toll on me as a person, and it's just trying to stay and keep going forward.
Yeah, but I think when music is or personal like that, I think people can connect to it more than when it's something that it's so like bubblegum pop that it's like very generic and there's nothing deep about the song. So yeah, I could tell that. So you released this a few months ago. Do you already are you guys still tinkering with new music, and what new direction you want to take the band on, or do you want to are you gonna do some more like shows or touring now for the Serpent?
Both, all of that, yeah. We always try to always be trying to work on new music and ideas, and we have open discussions frequently about songwriting and the direction we want to go in. But we also are trying to like play more shows right now too, and like you said, kind of tour the Serpent album and promote it more. And we're, with the gas prices and the economy, we're trying to limit like ourselves for like extensive tours right now. So we're really trying to just maybe like focus on like our local calendar, and local and like close surrounding areas. We don't want to travel a lot, but we are also, writing new music and like ideas and like talking about direction. And I do know that like moving forward, we do want to try to like our sound has kind of developed to where we like it, and our sound is good, but like we would want to try to improve upon like our songwriting, and like maybe take some different approaches to songwriting. So might hear some different like songs on this next album because they were inspired differently.
When you guys are in the process of songwriting, does Ben write the lyrics, and the other members of the band, write the music, or do you see it as a collective and work on lyrics, everyone as a team?
It has been predominantly been with lyrics, but I think, we've talked about having everybody incorporate with lyrics because, it's with, it's five minds compared to just one mind working towards something. And like, as far as the music goes, we've always kind of been, everybody helps write all the music, like, but you could tell from our music though, we're kind of like a riff driven band. A lot of our songs are like guitar riffs, riff heavy. So like, usually that's how we approach the songs to start them. We get Sean and Jesse will get some ideas together, and then we'll like expand on it. Like they'll jam on it together, and then we'll jam on it in our band room. It's like, then we all have like our input about what sounds good, what could sound good, where could we go from here, and things develop that way. And I think, yeah, like we're all gonna be we're gonna focus on having everyone like involved with a lot of things with the writing now.
Yeah,
So we're trying to incorporate newer things too with like production. So like having more like ambiance and like space in the music, so having like more digital aspect to the music also. So that's something we're maybe experimenting with too.
Yes, absolutely.
Like electronic sounds, like a bit of like an industrial tinge to the sounds.
Yeah, a little bit, keyboards, samples and whatnot. Definitely trying to expand on that because we've never really put that in our music before.
Yeah.
So, and just like us
creating more atmosphere in the music.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that sounds like a cool plan. And I know you guys played Welcome to Rockville. Was it what year did you guys play that concert?
Last year.
Last year. Nice. Who was on the bill last year?
Metallica.
Oh, they're a pretty well-known band. Yeah.
Rob Zombie, Chevelle. This is just the day that we played. Chevelle.
Yeah. Oh, I love Chevelle.
Starset. Who else played that day? Shoot. I can't even remember because most of the day we were like getting ready to perform, and then after we were done playing, because it was the first year it was at the Daytona Speedway, so everything was just kind of it was new to everybody. So it was kind of like no one really knew what was going on. So it was a lot of riding here and there in golf carts and whatnot. And
we played the first day Metallica headlined.
Oh, yes. Nice. Do you have like
Friday? Metallica was the main headliner that night.
Yeah, right. I would assume that Metallica would be the headliner.
Like
that year, they actually headlined twice, 2 days at that four-day festival. They headlined 2 of the 4 nights.
Yeah,
Friday and Sunday night.
Yeah, I remember. I'm trying to remember who played on Saturday, because I didn't. They headlined like one day and the
Saturday. The Saturday, no, Slipknot was the Thursday. The Saturday was Disturbed, God, Gore. Trying to think of who else, but I think those are definitely the 3 that stick out.
Yeah, and when you played that show, did you had some any like rock star encounters? Like you were like, I'm not worthy. like did you meet anyone huge from those bands?
No, it was COVID, so no one was really walking. No one was talking to anybody.
We didn't have all the access to like the main, like the backstage areas to where the big acts were.
Yeah, and they were all kind of like had like their own things going because like it was the COVID era still, and things still weren't really back to the way it was. I mean, I think now I saw at Rockville now. Like I saw pictures like some friends of ours played Rockville, and they had a lot of they met a lot of people, backstage and whatnot. But we met 0936. He parked his car next to us, and he's a very he's a very good up and coming musician. He's like a metal rock Eminem, so I dig his stuff. But we saw him, and I'm trying to think we saw anybody else. We saw Starset riding on the golf cart, and we've played with Starset before years ago. So we remember obviously the astronaut costumes and whatnot. But yeah, it was regardless, we saw the tour buses. Now we don't know whose tour buses they were, whose tour buses were whose, but we saw a bunch of tour buses.
Did you get to see the Metallica set?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's I've seen them 3 times, and they're always great live. At least
Yeah, they
all
are.
the times that I've seen them, they're great live. Unlike Motley Crue, who breaks a rib on stage after 5 songs.
Right.
Yeah, I saw Motley Crue back in the day, but you would need to pay me to see those guys now.
Yeah,
Because
I agree. I saw them 5 or 6 years ago, and they sucked 5 years ago.
Yeah, you remember like 5 years ago they did the whole thing where they signed the contract that they were no longer going to play. I'm like, well, yeah, that's not gonna last. I hate it when those bands do that. The Kiss, they're like, oh, the farewell tour number 400 or something.
Oh yeah,
I saw
Kiss. I saw Kiss in 2000 on a farewell tour.
Oh, they've been in a farewell tour now for 22 years.
Exactly, yeah.
And they don't. And then Gene Simmons says that rock is dead, but you don't put any new music. And when they tour, they don't bring new bands. So fuck you, Gene Simmons. Like he's like, okay, boomer, like whatever. Like,
exactly.
But then you have a band like Metallica, who are not young kids, and play amazing every show. And there's other like. I recently put like a mini. Did you hear the new Ozzy Osbourne song?
No,
Uh,
I haven't heard the new Ozzy song yet. No, I've been meaning to. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you hear it, and I put like a mini, like a 1 minute short video, like saying like the last album to me was atrocious. To me, Ozzy hasn't sounded good like in 20 years, and I saw him with Black Sabbath in 2005, and that was awesome. But then I saw him in a solo concert in 2010 or something, 12, and in that show, I don't know what they took him off stage. Like he didn't finish his set. They didn't say what it was, but he's had health issues for so long, and I know that some people romanticize that dying on stage is the greatest, but I really think sometimes retiring with dignity.
right.
Yeah, like people say no. I hear comments on there, like people like, oh, he's 70 years old. You should be glad that he's putting out music. Not if the music is bad, like we have the classics to go to. Like I think he's a legend. He has nothing more to prove. He can retire, or do some other things. I don't know who doesn't let him retire, but yeah, the new song has a lot of autotune, and I hate autotune.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's just the way a lot of music is these days, unfortunately. And then with him being, older, probably not as vocally strong as he used to be. I'm pretty sure that he or whoever's producing it. I mean, poor Ozzy. I mean, he's done every drug known to man. So I mean, who knows where his brain is, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he could definitely retire and be a legend. Like he has done it all. He pretty much carved everything that is heavy metal and hard rock today. Like if it wasn't for him, none of this would exist. So like, I mean, he can retire with dignity. I mean, there's literally nobody who can retire.
Yeah, that's no question. He could call it quits anytime. Everybody would be like, yes, sir. But yeah, I read an interview about him recently too. I think earlier today though, he said that he has been having a lot of health problems this year.
Yeah, he just had an operation.
Yeah. He said one thing though that has really helped him though, like process and get through like the challenges and like the hardships of being ill was working on this new album. So I think that's cool that still like he still has the music to help him release things in life, even at that age. So
yeah.
Like I respect that, a lot. So I was like, hey, if he wants to, keep putting out music until he's literally too old to do it, then that's what makes him feel good. Hey, more power to him.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a very valid point.
Yeah, if it gets him if it's like he probably doesn't know what else to do, like
Yeah,
but
music is what he's
yeah,
doing.
I just don't think it's been good for years, sadly. Like I
I
think that
I get your. I see that too, though.
yeah, but yeah, I understand. But then you have someone like Roger Waters, who's like 78,
Mhm.
and he plays great, and he's
Yeah,
still at the top of the game, or Mick Jagger. So it's nothing to do because the people might say, "Oh, you're shitting on him because it's old," but not. It's not that. It's because of his health.
yeah,
Because if you are like Mick Jagger, that guy has more energy than a 20-year-old on stage.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
It's amazing. So Ben, I know you're sitting down now, but you look like you're like a really tall guy. How tall are you?
yeah.
I'm 6'8".
Yeah, I know. When I see the picture, I'm like, you can be in the band. You can be the singer and your own bouncer.
Right, pretty
Yeah.
much. You
Like
know,
what?
I get asked if I'm a football player pretty regularly now. Ever since I got a little bigger, I get asked if I'm a football player very, very regularly. Especially and I wear a lot.
You graduated from basketball player to football player.
Yeah, because I used to be way skinnier. And I was like lankier. So everyone
That
like,
happens to us all. It's you start getting older, and it happens when you start like working in a sedentary. If you're sitting all day, that's when the pounds
yes,
start to keep up. Like what I do to stay in shape is I do like boxing classes and stuff,
oh,
and
okay.
Okay.
it helps me. I'm 44, so it helps me stay in shape. So right now, are you like binge watching any new TV shows or anything when you're not doing music?
I don't really binge watch much. And I was actually telling somebody this the other day, like if I'll watch like an episode of a show and like completely like I'm actually more of a YouTube guy. And what one thing that I like to watch is a lot of travel videos of places that I'm very interested in. I like to see what life is like there, like life in the Middle East, like places that you never think of going, but like now that everyone has this technology to where they can just take it and film it, you can see through their eyes. I mean, I love to travel. I love it.
Yeah.
Like it's my favorite thing in the world. I love culture. I love learning about culture, geography, all of that. So I watch a lot of geographical videos, and knowledge is power as well. So the more you know, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you to know a little
No,
bit
of
more.
course. There's
And
a lot of people now in Instagram that are doing that, have like travel blogs, and they post where they go. From Puerto Rico, we have two that are like very famous, and they travel and they post like stories and where they go, and then they let you go like they stay in more cheaper places. They let you know how to get like the best deals on the airplanes, and
yes,
how to do travel, because after now COVID, I think there's a lot of people like traveling. Everyone wants to go out and obviously see the world, and it's good to get out there and travel. I wish I had more time. There's one that I followed that recently spent 1 month in Australia. I'm like, oh, I would love to go to Australia.
oh yes, Australia would be great. I've been to Japan. That's the furthest place I've been so far, and absolutely loved Japan. But Europe, Australia, and all the continents. I mean, which I've touched Asia, but I like all the continents, South America even. I've been to the Caribbean, but the Caribbean's considered North America as well. So pretty much
Yeah.
anywhere step foot on Africa, even like I will definitely take a trip, see the culture, learn, and promote the music. I mean, why not? So like
Yeah,
I
every
get.
time I travel, so I used to buy CDs, but now you do or streaming or vinyl. But I remember when I used to travel, I always like to go to a record store and ask for. I let them know, okay, this is the type of music I like. I want something, but from your country, and I would discover. I remember going to France and discovering like a band that was like a French lip biscuit at
Oh,
the time,
oh yeah,
and yeah, I can't remember their name. Enhancer, I think, was their name.
I've heard
And
that,
Answer.
but
Enhancer, and I also bought like an alternative rock band named Playmo. Uh, like remembering, and that's what I like to do. I like to get music from different places because there's great, like you mentioned Japan. There's a great like band from Japan called Diren Gray.
Okay.
I think they played in a Family Values tour, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're pretty cool. But obviously they sing in Japanese, so
Right.
but they're like really heavy. And
There's one right now called Crystal Lake that's huge. They're like they sound like machines almost. Like the Japanese just do shit just so like extreme, and I love it. I got to go to a local metal show in Japan, and it was headlined by this Russian band that opened.
Were you the tallest guy there?
Yes. Oh, hands down.
I imagine like everyone like looking at you like.
Everywhere I went, I got asked to take pictures. I got which I asked them to take pictures too, and like you go like an American like this, like I was still handing out CDs. I mean, CDs, people would still listen to CDs back in 2016, especially Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go like to like a mall in America anywhere, and I was like, oh cool, man, thanks. You go to Japan, it's like you give them like you literally just handed them like $200. Like they're like, oh, do you have another one you can give? I'm like, oh shit, I didn't plan to bring this much. I can only fit like 4 in my pocket. I didn't plan to like hand tons out. So I ended up like, and I brought a whole bunch of blank CDs with me, and I would go up to like the office. They had this computer, and I would just burn my CD, burn our CD, which is the one that we had was the first CD, Come Alive, at the time, and I would just burn. I wouldn't burn the whole thing. I'd burn like 3 or 4 songs on it, just to like get like a little demo, like a little taste. And I'd burn a couple, right, like right on it, like the tracks and everything, and just hand the shit out. I went to that local show and handed it out. And my aunt actually lived in Japan, and she had some Japanese friends, and she had a friend that spoke fluent English and fluent Japanese. So having her come to that show with me really helped me a lot, because I got to meet people, but like it was funny because there was people that I met. And there was a dude that I actually stayed in contact with for a long time, but I actually haven't spoken to him in a while. His name was Nicky. I do remember that. And we spoke together, but we didn't really talk to each other. We spoke like back and forth through Natsu, which is her name. And he spoke Japanese to her. She told me what he said, and I would speak to her. She was a translator.
So nice. Yeah. Sounds like fun.
Oh, it was. I was like, ask them what their influences are from music. And they'd be like Slipknot, Zakk Wylde, and Lejeune from Seven Dust. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Oh yeah, I love Seven Dust.
That is probably one of my biggest influences as a vocalist. I do not know how I did not mention that. Lejeune from Seven Dust.
Yeah, the guy is supremely talented. He can sing, he can do it all, and I've seen them live. They're awesome. So, guys, before I let you go, where can people can they get the Serpent? Can they get it digitally, or are there physical copies that they can get?
You can get it online, all platforms, stream it digitally. We don't have physical CDs yet. We are in the process of getting them made right now. We kind of behind schedule with it. We wanted them by now, but the process is kind of confusing, and we're figuring it out though. So
yeah,
soon the CDs will be ready.
Yeah, have them when you are ready to tour, so you have them that way. So
exactly,
people,
yeah.
Right.
So
and
guys,
when we do get them, we want to have a big like CD release party, kind of so to speak, like a big Serpent party, party show, big local show.
Yeah, no, those are always nice. Having people there and just playing the whole the EP front to back. So guys, Ben, Brian, it was nice chatting with you guys, and I hope that more tours are coming soon. And everyone, Ventruss, new EP, The Serpent, is out now digitally, so you can go stream it if you want to buy it.
Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. YouTube,
everywhere. So support newer bands and check them out. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on the Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.